No.
Any others? 3. Okay. 2 from this is good. Are there any others from this section? 8. I'm going to say 6 and 8 are the same. Would we rather 6 or 8?
8.
We can do 7 because that's different. But between these two, which would you rather 6 or 8?
8.
Okay. Alright, and then we'll go on to the next page. So for the first objective, you're just solving the inequality, getting the variable by itself like you would any other equation. If you would like, rewrite it down here so you have more space. We have 2 sets of keys here, combine them. Divide both sides by 4. Remember, you can leave this like this, or you can flip it. If you flip it, whatever direction this is facing to or away from, make it the same. Would this be open or closed when we graph it? Closed.
What would be the point of flipping it?
Just to help you with your direction when you go to graph it. Because it shouldn't be graphed this way, it should be graphed this way. If you divided it by a negative, this side is yes. So close at -4, going to the right. Now, if you can read it this way, read it backwards, and still know that it's going to the right, that's fine. But if you don't flip it and you draw it to the left, that is the wrong direction. So flipping it will help you graph it. Questions on that one?
So I have a question. So, depending if it's closed, does that mean it's a filled in?
Yes. So if it's equal to, it's a filled in square. If it's not equal to, doesn't have the line underneath, then it would be open. Okay. Number 3, same thing. I'm going to rewrite this down here.
Scroll just a little bit.
Okay, then start to solve. So distribute the 6, distribute the -4. Combine like terms. So 36 plus 16, 12x minus 8x. And then get rid of 52, get rid of 4, the 4 by dividing. So subtract. What is 36 minus 52? Someone subtract that to me to get. Divide both sides by 4. I flipped it if you would like to see it that version, but either or of these is fine. Again, this would be closed, going to the right. If you, as long as you read this backwards, x is greater than or equal to -4. You don't have to flip it as long as you can read it backwards. Other questions on 3? And then we have the bottom 2. Is anyone still writing this one? I'll give you a chance to finish that.
For the way the arrow goes, how do you know where to point the
If you're not sure, think about numbers that you could put in here, or numbers on your number line. Is 0 greater than or equal to -4, or is -9 greater than or equal to -4? Think about it like that. Whichever one is true, go in that direction. Alright, for 7, this is your compound inequalities. If it's condensed like this is your and, where we solve everything together. Trying to get b by itself in the middle, so get rid of this 3 by subtracting it to everything. Divide everything by -6. Because we're dividing everything, the sign is going to change for all of them. But we don't see our condensed answers like this. We're going to flip the whole thing. So that it's least to greatest. Questions on that?
You want receipts? Christmas spirit.
The most important thing is, if you're dividing by a negative, make sure you switch the direction of the sign. So this would be graph, open circle and a closed circle, open at -6, closed at 1, with a line in between. Questions on that? 8, solve both of them separately, just how we were doing above. I'm going to rewrite all of that down here. Does not matter which one you solve first, you just need to solve them both, but what you do over here doesn't dictate what you do over here. So for this one, let's say I subtracted 2b. You can do this simultaneously or step by step. I'm going to do it at the same time because I don't have a whole lot of space. Because I moved 2b over here, I'm going to also add 5. If you did that in 2 separate steps, that's fine. Antonio, phone up. Same thing here. Let's say I subtract 2b and add 1. You can either leave this like this or switch it. In between your final answers, you need the word or, since it is an or inequality. Whether you put this least to greatest is up to you. Both of them are going to be graphed. B is greater than or equal to 7 would be closed to the right. B is less than -4 would be open to the left. All of your ors should look like that. Going opposite directions, correct.
So where's opposite directions?
And goes together, which is why it's towards each other. Other questions on that one? When you're finished writing, go on to the next page. And then find, we can do two questions. questions on the next page?
38.
12.
Do 11. 11. Okay. Alright, 9 and 11.
12.
We're just going to do 2 if we have time. We'll come back to it. Alright, for number 9. Start your y-intercept. Positive 3. Your slope is -1. There's an invisible 1 here. And it's really -1 over 1. So we can go down 1 to the right 1 as many times as possible. And up 1, left 1 as many times as possible. This is strictly greater than, would that be dashed or solid? Dash. So if you want to write dash so you remember, you can. I'm not going to write that. Because the dots are so close together, I'm just going to make it a dotted instead of a dashed line and draw arrows at the end.
Oh, that's nice. I'm doing that.
Just make sure I can see your dots. If this is greater than, would that be shaded above or below? Above. Above would be up here.
You said if it's greater than, you dash above it.
Greater than is above, yes. Because it's strictly greater than, it's also dashed. Other questions on that one? Not all you do for them. That is it. Wilbur, did you do this one already? For 11, this is just a y value, so you have to remember your Hoybucks. Stop talking. So is this going to be a horizontal or vertical line? Horizontal. At 1 on the y-axis. So put a point at 1. It's greater than or equal to, would that be dashed or solid? Solid. So draw a straight, solid line across with arrows at the end. Greater than or equal to, shaded above or below this? Above. So everything up here. Greater than always points to the right. So less left if that helps. Questions on that one? If you get an X, when you think right or left, or think above or less than, greater than or less than, think about how we did on the number line. Would the numbers be greater than whatever or less than whatever, depending on the problem? Any questions on this one? Ivan? 15. Right. These I would recommend using 2 different colors. You can grab colored pencils, highlighters, a pen and a pencil, 2 different things. If you are just using a pencil, I would say use 2 different directions, shade in 2 different directions. So for the first one, just like before, start at -1. Slope is -2 over 1. So we can go down 2 to the right 1 as many times as possible. Up 2, left 1 as many times as possible. This would be dashed or solid. Dash. So you can either just draw arrows at the end. If you want to draw little dash marks in between, you can also do that, either or. It is less than, would that be shaded above or below? Below. And that would be under here. we're going to do the other one. I'm going to go ahead and start. This one would start at a positive 2. The slope is 1 over 1. So I can go up 1, right 1 as many times as possible. Down 1, left 1 as many times as possible. Would this one be dashed or solid? Solid. So draw a straight solid line through all of those points. Arrows at the end. And then it is greater than or equal to shaded above or below. Gianna, put away.
Yeah, bro, you got comfortable too.
So then we're looking for the overlapping. You don't have to do this if it's obvious, but if it's not so obvious, highlight where they overlap.
Who's looking where it overlaps? Who's looking where it overlaps?
Other questions on this one? Guys, we're not doing hair right now. Sit down. Other questions on this one? That is it. We don't have to do it. Alright, let's do 16. Starting with the first one, y-intercept at -1, slope is 1 over 1. So go up 1, right 1 as many times as possible. Dash or solid? Dash. So you can just draw arrows at the end unless you want to draw little tick marks in between. It is less than shaded below or above? Below. So below, from your y-intercept would be underneath, so all of this down here. Then the other one, start at +2. Your slope is -1/2, so we can go down 1, right 2 as many times as possible. Up 1, left 2 as many times as possible. Would this be dashed or solid? Solid. Solid. Shaded above or below? Above for greater than, so at the y-intercept, everything up, everything up here. Are there any other last minute questions we have before lunch? Say that one more time. For the graphs, yeah. The systems, graph 2 of them, make sure you shade. For the regular, just graph the 1. Other questions? That overlap. You can, if it's not obvious, so like if different colors, but if it doesn't look obvious, highlight.
English.
You're also going to